Hi guys, let's solve this problem. So we have five numbers. If you have five, you are going to read five numbers, and if after reading the numbers you read one, it means you have to print the first even number, which is 2. If after reading the numbers you read 2, you have to print the last even number, which is 10, and if you read 3, you have to print the first odd number, which is 13, and if you read 4, you have to print the last odd number, which is 11. So these numbers which tell us what to print are coming after reading the number, so there is no way we know in advance what to print. That's why we have to store them somewhere, which means we have to use arrays. So let's include IOStream using namespace std. Now first I will create variable n, so int n, and you are going to read your variable n. Then we must read this many numbers, but after reading them I read another number which tells me what to do. That's why you have to keep them in an array. So let's create an array with the size of 1000, for example, and you never know how many numbers you are going to read. And now this many times I'm going to read numbers, so I want to create a loop where I start from 0 and I continue while I is smaller than n. And again, since I started from 0, I do not put equal to sign. And then I'm going to read element of array at position I. Now after reading them, I'm going to read this number, so let it be x. So after reading the numbers in a loop, I'm going to read x. So now if x is equal to 1, you must print the first even number. So what you have to do is you will go through all the elements of the array, and if you find even number, you print it and you break the loop. So you'll say for int I is equal to 0 while I is smaller than n, I plus plus. And here you will check if element of array at position I is even number. You will do things. You will do two things. First, you will print it, and then you are going to break the loop. So if x is 1, you are going to create a loop where you start from 0 and you continue until while it's smaller than n. You will check all elements of the array one by one, and if the element of array at position I is even number, you will print it and you will break the loop. The break will break this loop. Then if not, I will check if x is equal to 2. So if x is equal to 2, this time you will have to go from reverse and search for an odd number. So the first element that I will check of the array will be at position n minus 1, not n. Because if you have 5 elements, the last element is at position 4. The first element is at position 0. That's why, since it's 4, not 5, and 4 is 5 minus 1, the first element you are going to check is n minus 1. And your loop will run as long as I is bigger or equal to 0. If I is big, so do not make it smaller. It will never enter the loop. If you start from the reverse, you want to check if I is bigger or equal to 0, because if I is, let's say, 4, 3, 2, or whatever, will enter the loop. So, but if you do like this, since I start from 4 and 4 is not equal to 0, it will never enter the loop. And every time you will decrease your I. And then, again, let's copy this thing and put it here. If the element at position I is even number, you print it and you break the loop. If not, I want to check if x is equal to 3. if x is equal to 3, this time you will start from 0 and go until n minus 1. So let's copy this, and I'm sorry, let's copy this one and put it here. So you will start from 0, your loop will run while I is smaller than n, and this time you want to check if your number is an odd number. If it is, you'll print it, you break the loop. If not, I'll check if x is equal to 4. If x is equal to 4, you'll create a loop where you start from n minus 1, you will go reverse, and your loop will run while I is bigger or equal to 0, and every time your iterator will decrease. And you want to check if it is an odd number. If it is, you print it, you break the loop. That's it. It's pretty long code, but easy to understand. So let's run the code. So let's say I have 5 numbers, and which are 2, 4, 13, 9, and 11, and my criteria is 3, which means I must print the first odd number, which is 13. Let's test it, and that's it. Have a nice day.